Hi Munchers, hope everyone is healthy and coping well with this pandemic. You won't be seeing our pretty faces on this video unfortunately, but it's still gonna be full of the same geeky stuff. So let's dive right into this. So what do we know so far? In terms of the title and release, a few days ago, Sony announced via social media the official title for the Venom sequel, Let There Be Carnage. Carnage going all red and badassy. It also came with some bad news that was to be expected. The original release date was October 2020 and it has now been pushed to June 2021. In terms of the cast and crew, we have Andy Serkis, who's been cast as Alfred Pennyworth in Matt Reeves' Batman, and who we remember from Avengers Age of Ultron as Ulysses Klaue. He now dons his director hat for this movie, taking over from Ruben Fleischer, who did a decent job with Venom's first outing. And reprising their roles from the previous movie are Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, Michelle Williams as Anne Wayne, and Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, who we saw in the post-credits scene, and he goes out with a certain line that we'll get to a little later. For this movie, we also have Naomi Harris, who has been confirmed as Frances Louis Barson. That's so not a dead giveaway. The post-credit scene. So from the last movie, we saw that Eddie Brock goes to interview Cletus Cassidy, the serial killer, at San Quentin prison in California. We see some blood art, and Cletus being all eerie and dark, saying there's gonna be carnage. Holy moly, that was quite something, minus the random ass wig he's wearing. But this obviously points to the main antagonist, and that is Carnage. So who is Carnage? Carnage is an offspring of Venom, so that scene confirms that when Eddie goes to interview Cletus Cassidy, Venom most probably leaves his offspring back at the prison, and it eventually bonds with him, possibly helping him escape from his incarceration. Carnage is red and scary, and from what we know on Wikipedia, Carnage's powers have always been abnormally enhanced from the maniacal will and insane worldview that Cassidy has from the age of 8 years old. Cassidy sees chaos and random undirected violence as reality and considers order and virtue to be illusions. He takes an almost artistic pride in his mayhem. That's some messed up stuff. In terms of the source material, so with more movies in store within Sony Spider-Verse and the eventual sharing of many characters within the MCU, this is more likely than not teasing and inspired from the storylines of Maximum Carnage and Absolute Carnage. So in Max Carnage, Cletus Cassidy breaks out of Ravencroft and teams up with Frances Barson or Shriek. Shriek is a mutant and can manipulate sound to induce fear, hate, and despair. She uses her mental powers to make people violently turn on each other. Spider-Man, along with Venom and more, face off to eventually defeat them. In Absolute Carnage, we explore the mythology of the symbiotes, an alien race known as the Clintar with their deity Null. Null is an almighty and very powerful dark god, so much so that he decapitated a celestial. Yes, a celestial with his sword, all black, the Necro Sword. This floating head in space is what we know as Nowhere from way back in Guardians of the Galaxy, where they meet the Collector. In the comic, the race is finished and Carnage plans to resurrect his species and become their unholy leader. The Morbius trailer came out earlier this year and showed him possibly teaming up with Vulture and most probably Scorpion, who we last saw were in jail at the end of Tom Holland's debut as Spider-Man in Homecoming. Now, could this finally lead to the forming of the infamous Sinister Six? We hope so. In terms of the other symbiotes that we saw from the first movie, we have Agony, who is the unnamed blue symbiote that Drake tries to bond to Isaac before using it to execute Dr. Dora Skirth. We have Phage. We see it early on when Drake and Dr. Skirth experiment with life test subjects. They unleash this yellow and black symbiote onto a rabbit, which is quickly consumed from the inside. We all know Riot. He latches on to a first responder in the crash in Malaysia, who moves from host to host until it bonds with Carlton Drake. And obviously we have the famous Venom. When Eddie's trying to rescue his homeless friend Maria during his investigative journalism, Venom transfers from her to him. So there are 5 recovered symbiotes from the Crash site, and the one that escapes is Riot. The others are Lasher and Scream, who may yet feature in future Venom Carnage movies. We also have Toxin, who is Venom's grand thingy, since it is an offspring to Carnage. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. Next, we'll be doing a possible plot video, so please stay tuned for that. It'll be out soon. And yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Do like, comment, share, and subscribe for more geeky stuff. We'll be doing breakdowns, announcements, trailers, and more. That's it. Take care, everyone. This is OG Manchester signing off.